CBEC before the board is 4 separate legal issues to be decided, each issue being an allegation of a violation of election law. Today there will be testimony about these 4 specific issues from the CBEC Certified Election Monitor, SBEC staff, and the Searcy County Clerk, which substantiate each of these allegations. Further, there will be documents that were obtained by staff during the investigation to further substantiate these allegations in black and white. Each of these election laws, all 4 of them, are the same election laws which every county in the state must abide. The 4 separate legal issues before the board today are straightforward. Did the Searcy County CBEC violate any of these listed election laws in conducting the 2024 general election? The facts we will present at the hearing today will show that they did, and accordingly it should be sanctioned by the state board.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Lancaster.
Yes, before I give my opening statement, I have a couple things that I need to put into the record. Number one is that I object to any type of notion that this board would be operating in this hearing in a legislative capacity, as like a rulemaking capacity, instead of an adjudicative capacity. That objection is important for appellate purposes in our worst case scenario. Additionally, pursuant to the United States Supreme Court's ruling in SEC v. Jarsky, my clients are elected county officials. All right, they're elected by their county committees, which are Republicans and Democrats, and this board is seeking to sanction them, and those sanctions implicate their right under the 7th Amendment to a trial by jury. Now, I understand this isn't a court and you can't give us a jury trial, but I'm only saying that so I preserve it for appeal. It's
Understood, Mr. Lancaster. So in terms of your first motion, why is this rulemaking?
No, I'm not saying it is.
Oh, okay.
But if I don't, there's a case out there and I can't think of the citation. It's just, I mean, it's not a motion, it's just an objection, kind of a statement. There's this case that says that the respondents before the board, not this board but a different one, did not object to the hearing being conducted as a legislative proceeding instead, like rulemaking instead of adjudicative. And I want to make sure.
Not my phone.
Not mine either.
Somebody's phone on that. I'm sorry, Mr. Lancaster.
We're in the call.
I'll let him end the call and then I'll continue.
Sorry about that.
You can't do Zoom because you get Zoom bombed. You can't do phones because people don't use it. I mean, I get it. No, this case says that if you don't object, you waive it. And so I'm just making a statement to that effect.
Understood. I thought there was something more to it. You're just making a record.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Mr. Cooper, any response to that objection?
No response, Your Honor.
All right. And for the record, I'm going to overrule both of your objections.
That's fine. I expected it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to make it the record. So.
Correct. I know. I understand.
May I proceed with an opening?
Please.
Lady and gentlemen of the board, what you're going to hear today is something that is very unfortunate. You're going to hear how the board's staff did not thoroughly investigate all of these allegations. And if they had thoroughly investigated these allegations, that they would have found that people were properly paid. They would have found that there was an agreement for equipment that they have no legal responsibility to even provide. And I'm talking about this audio video equipment from AVII that the county board rented. That's not in furtherance of their duties as election commissioners, because there is no duty to film or record it. There's a duty to count it, which they did. But again, that's going to come out in the evidence, along with notions of fair market value for what it was, whether it was a gift. This county has had a turnover of county clerks. I think they've had like 3 in a very short time period. My clients don't issue checks. All they do is issue requests for checks. And it's the county treasurer's job to write the checks and the county clerk's job to whatever, store them or whatever else. My clients had all their paperwork in order, and you're going to see that today. And you're going to see that payments were made They were not made until 2025, which was after the election and after the turn of the year. But again, my clients don't have a checkbook for the county. You're also going to hear that my clients performed exactly as they were trained or authorized by either this board or its staff. You're going to hear how the training they got is the very training that the board is now alleging they've made violations of. And I think it's a travesty, but we're here today, and that's what our evidence is going to be. So with that, I have no further comments.
Thank you, Mr. Lancaster. Mr. Cooper, your first witness, please.
Your Honor, we call Melissa Jackson to the stand.
Yeah, good morning. Would you be so kind as to raise your right hand? Swear you in. You swore affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right. Anyone help you out? Please proceed, Mr. Cooper.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Melissa Judd Jackson.
And were you a certified election monitor for the state board in Searcy County during the 2024 general election?
Yes, sir.
Did you file a report with the SBEC for each date you were an election monitor there?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been a state monitor prior to the November 2024 general election?
Yes, sir, multiple times.
Tell me about that. How many times have you been a monitor?
Lonoke County and Van Buren area. I guess those are the 2 times that are on record.
Several elections, huh?
Yeah, but I worked the Carroll County elections for the last 20
That's actually my next question.
Okay.
Do you have any experience with elections prior to becoming an election monitor?
Yes, I started working Carroll County elections in about 27 years ago when I first moved to Carroll County. And I worked about every position in an election there.
You including commissioner?
No, I was not, I did not ever run for commissioner, but I helped with the election process and election cleanup,
Okay. Poll working.
poll worker, yeah.
As a state monitor, were you given a list of details to check at each monitoring location while you were working as a state monitor?
Yes, they email me it's a form and I fill it out at every location exactly the same, any location I go to.
So having done this in the past, was the form that you got in November 2024, was that the same forms you got in the past?
Yes.
And part of your duties, tell us a little bit about things that you check when you're a monitor. You check.
We're basically just checking to make sure, all the signs are up. I take pictures of that so that we have proof that that all is done. Make sure that there's poll workers there and that they're doing the process like you're supposed to do it. Trying to see we make sure there's handicap accessible areas to get in, all of that kind of stuff. Just basically all the laws that we all have to follow, making sure that all of those, and if they're not, I try to bring their attention to it immediately. So that
And document it.
document, yes.
Were you present at the Landis Fire Station polling location in Searcy County on Election Day 2024?
Yes.
November. How many election officials did you observe working at the Landis Fire Station polling location in November?
There were 3. I was told when I got there that someone had a family emergency, and I think the mother or the woman whose husband had a family emergency and the daughter both had to go attend to that.
As part of your duties, you take pictures of various things in the poll, including the poll worker sign-in sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And so you documented there were 3 people at that polling location.
Yes, I actually had them sign in on my sheet so that I knew exactly who was there and the names were spelled right.
Okay.
So they signed in on mine.
Did you also work as a state monitor for the ballot counting process in Searcy County the following day?
Yes, sir.
Can you describe the setup for the ballot counting location?
Well, this was my first time to witness one of the hand count paper ballots. We've hand counted in Carroll County in the past that I've been a part of, but I've never witnessed it on this scale. So when I came into, it was set up like a gymnasium, and there was, I think 10 tables with a GoPro on each table, and TV outside each table so that you could see what the GoPro was doing. There was scanners. There was a table for the people who had provided all the equipment, and they had a bunch of electronical equipment. I was pretty floored. I had never seen that much stuff before.
Did you take photos of the
Yes, sir.
stuff? Could you turn to, in the book in front of you, could you turn to Exhibit 4.11?
Oh, okay. I think, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Did you take that photo?
Yes, it looks like it. Mhm.
Okay. And then there's a following photo right behind it. Did you take that one too?
Yes.
Now did you take the next one?
Yes, sir.
The photos you took reflect an accurate description of the layout of the setup of the central count location.
Yes, sir.
Okay. While you were there, did you have any interaction with any members of the Searcy County's CBEC regarding all the equipment?
Yes, it was a pretty impressive amount of equipment. So I did say, I think just kind of in shock, said, what does this cost? And they said, you know, what is this costing, I think, because I was including like all these workers. I come from Carroll County, which is a very small county with a very small budget. So I was like, oh my gosh, how are y'all doing this? And they said that it was being rented for $100, and that a lot of the workers were volunteering their time, and that the commissioners were taking a pay cut. And I think I kind of jokingly said, well, they won't volunteer their time again after they've been here for several days. So, but I was wondering how they would maintain that.
Okay, so as a formal election official, you've done this stuff before, maybe not hand counting, but you
Yeah.
have dealt with elections. Would you expect to pay that for the equipment that you observed?
I object to that question because there is no evidence or any testimony that Ms. Jackson here is an expert on what video equipment would cost. She would be speculating.
Mr. Cooper, what's your response?
She is a former election official, Your Honor, so she's had experience with elections.
I think you need to lay a little more foundation in terms of her knowledge or her background.
I'll withdraw it.
You withdraw? All right. Objection sustained. Well, since you withdraw, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you also take a photograph of a yellow pad with signatures on it?
Yes, I tried to document who all was working at the facility.
I think it's Exhibit 4.14 there in your book.
Okay.
And what was your understanding that the purpose of this yellow pad sheet was?
That was the workers. They had them sign in before they sat down, so that those were the workers that were working the hand count.
So it's your understanding that those were the counters that had
Yes.
signed in?
Yes.
Okay. Did you observe any other poll worker list or list of election officials posted at the location?
I think I took a picture of one maybe on the door of what, of who was supposed to be working.
In your monitoring duties, did you visit the courthouse?
Yes.
Did you notice any the postings in the courthouse that are required for elections?
I took photographs of those postings as well.
And one of those postings was the posting for election officials.
Yes.
While you were present at the count location, was this yellow pad sheet ever made available or accessible to the public?
Not to my knowledge.
Go. No further questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Lancaster?
All right. Ms. Jackson, can you tell me where having audio and video equipment to record county is required in the statute or the laws? Do you know that?
I do not.
Okay. Seeing what you saw there, would it have been possible to count those ballots without audio and video equipment?
Yes.
Did having the audio or video equipment in any way impact the manner of counting or how they were being counted?
No.
All right. Are you positive that those were GoPro cameras?
No, I was just told that.
Okay, so you don't
I didn't
even,
check the brand.
you don't know for sure what kind of cameras they even were,
I did not take it. I did not get close to the brand, no.
okay?
Took photographs, so I guess we could zoom in.
Look, I mean, I got your photographs here. Would you, if you want to flip over to 411, I think it was. I mean, if you can look maybe at the second page is the closest one you have, would you agree that you can't see the type of brand that's on that camera?
No, sir, I can't read the brand.
So it's entirely possible that it is a camera that is less expensive or more expensive than a GoPro.
Yes.
All right. You ever rented a car?
Yes.
Did you pay the full price for the car when you rented it?
No, sir.
In fact, you just paid a daily fee, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Objection, Your Honor, the relevance.
That's your response, Mr. Lancaster.
Well, it's relevant to put into the record that people routinely rent things for less than their full value, and that is not uncommon or unnatural.
I'm going to overrule the objection, Mr. Cooper. I don't know how far down the road you're going to go with this, but,
Not much.
okay, I didn't think so. Go ahead, Mr. Lancaster.
Ma'am, the question was, when you rented a car, you didn't pay the full value, you just paid a fee, right?
Yes, sir.
And did that seem appropriate to you when you rented the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in your report, you also had said that you were dismissed from the election, from the county location, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who dismissed you?
John Davidson.
So it wasn't anybody from the county telling you to leave or get out of here or anything like that?
No.
Right. And now, you had this, I think it's Exhibit 4.14 is the notepad of the people that were working on counting, correct?
Correct.
These were the people counting the ballots, right?
Correct.
Do you have any, one of your allegations that was made was that Mark Cook touched a ballot. Do you remember
Yes, I have
that?
a photograph of that.
Okay. Do you have any evidence to indicate that he was not a sworn and trained poll worker?
Yes. Actually, they brought that up at the beginning of the day and said that the people with that company were not allowed to work and touch the ballots. That was for the poll workers.
Okay, but that's not an answer to my question. My question was, do you have any evidence that Mr. Cook was not a sworn and trained poll worker?
I didn't see him sworn in. No.
Okay, so if he was a sworn and trained poll worker, why is it that he could not touch a ballot?
Objection, Your Honor. Again, relevance. This is not part of these allegations that are before us today. These are another matter.
What?
All right, well, let me ask you this, Mr. Lancaster. Which allegation of fact is this related to? I got 4 of them here in front of me.
Take a look, Your Honor.
Sure. We got the value one. We got the posting a full list of election officials.
Well, I think it goes to that one, Your Honor, as well as the witness's credibility. She has made a report that says that Mark Cook touched a ballot improperly, and this goes to show that Mr. Cook was in fact a poll worker who is legally allowed to touch ballots.
Right. So which allegation of fact does this relate to?
Number 2.
Right. How is touching a ballot or not touching a ballot relative to failing to post a full list of election officials?
Well, it shows that this witness doesn't know if she saw a list. Her testimony was that she had no information that this person was not a sworn and certified poll worker or sworn and trained poll worker. So she has said that Mr. Cook has touched a ballot improperly, and that would go to whether or not he was on a list, but she's saying she doesn't even know if he was on the list.
But they started the day.
Hold on. Mr. Cooper?
Your Honor, this has been, it was in the witness's report to the SBC. It was investigated by the board staff, and the board dismissed the allegation. It is not relevant to today's hearing. He is not on any of the list of voters or workers that have been entered into evidence.
That's not what she said. She said she hadn't seen it. She didn't say it wasn't on there. And I will point Your Honor, I point to, I think it's their exhibit 4.15, which is a list of signatures. And I've got, let's just take 4.15, the very first page. Now, I don't think that there's anybody here who could testify that those 2 signatures on the right bottom are not Mark Cook signatures.
Okay, I'm a little lost, Mr. Lancaster. So 4.5.
4.15, the very first page, it's got well, they all have a little 5 at the bottom, but the very first page, right column, bottom 2. Now, that looks like how I would sign my name if I had really put forth some effort, but I guess my point is this is a list that was available, and this witness cannot tell me this is where I'm going. She can't tell me that Mr. Cook's signature is not one of these. And I'll submit.
Hold on a second, Mr.
Sure.
Lancaster. I'm looking at it. I don't see Mr. Cook listed on this list.
May I approach?
Sure. I could be missing it, or I am.
Well, see, I'm talking about these 2 right here. What I'm saying is, I can't read them either, right? I can't read them, and I can't tell you that it is Mark Cook's signature or not Mark Cook's signature, but neither can the witness. And my point in making this argument is that if you look at the yellow notepad of the people counting, Mr. Cook's signature is not on there that I can see. But I posit that one of these may be Mr. Cook's signature, and we don't have any proof that it's not.
But I don't think they are. I'm looking at the charges.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at the allegations of fact, I should say. And they're not, there's nothing in here about Mr. Cook either touching a ballot or signing something. The allegation is they failed to post the list, not that he wasn't allowed to touch or not touch, or that he was a certified election official. I think you're arguing crossways here.
Well, maybe so. That's happened in the past. But I guess my allegation too is they failed to post a full list of election officials. And when Mr. Cooper did his questioning with this witness, I think it's 4.12, maybe. Nope. It's the one where the picture of the notepad. I don't remember exactly which one it was. Where 4.14. Thank you, Mr. Cooper. 4.14 is a list of people who are working, and I'm defending this on the proposition that the allegations are. I'm assuming that these people on this notepad weren't posted 8 days prior.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm speculating as well, but I can tell you in terms of Mr. Cooper's objection, it appeared to me that you were getting into a subject matter that really isn't relative to the allegations of fact. So I'm going to go ahead and sustain that objection,
Okay.
and then ask you to move on.
Yes, sir. Ms. Jackson, did you take any pictures of what you saw posted?
Yes, sir, I usually always take pictures of like, all of the postings.
Well, where are those?
They would be on the camera I turned into the state.
Okay. Do you have that with you here today?
I turn the camera in, I don't keep that stuff at home.
All right, well, don't you think it'd be helpful if we had a picture of what you take and posted?
Your Honor, he's badgering the witness. The witness has no control of what the state puts in their evidence.
It's cross-examination.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and overrule that. Can you answer that question, ma'am?
What is the question?
Do you think it would be helpful for us today to have a picture of what you took that was posted?
To compare to this, yes,
Okay. Do you have any evidence that what was posted is not the same thing that's on this piece of paper or in the state's exhibits?
I gave that evidence to the state and they did the background on that.
I get it, and I understand you gave it to them, but I guess I have to ask you because you're on the stand. And if the answer is no, the answer is no, but do you have any evidence?
Do I have any evidence on my person? No.
Okay, so you have,
The state has, I gave the camera to the state.
yeah, and you don't have any evidence that what you took a picture of is not the same thing here?
No, not on my person, no.
All right, let me look at my notes again. Your Honor, at this point, give me just a sec. Do you have any evidence that the poll workers or election officials were not appropriately paid?
On my person, no.
Okay, all right. Have you ever known of any polling locations to allow 3 poll workers instead of 4?
It is my understanding that there needed to be 4 there. When I arrived and there was 3, I heard the story. It's tragic. You know, I just made sure that they notified the county.
Okay,
And then I let the election commissioners know when I saw them.
okay.
That's
Now,
not my,
I understand you're just checking to see if people are following the rules. My question is, that in all your time as an election monitor, being at elections, have you ever known of there being a polling place with only 3 poll workers?
in Carroll County, we have had situations where we start out the day like, you know, everybody shows up and there's not enough, and so we shift around from polling sites that have more people, but we don't start the day until we get that covered.
What was the tragic story that you were told about?
I just was told that the woman's husband had a health issue, like something major, I don't know exactly what it was, that her and her daughter had to go to the hospital to be with him.
And that was the Landis Fire Station location,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you know if they ever got 4 poll workers over there, or they just only go with 3 all day?
I think I was there in the afternoon and there was only 3 there at that time. I did make sure that they called, made sure, and they said that the county clerk knew. So if someone showed up after I left, I don't know that.
Okay, now, when Carroll County had 3 poll workers, did y'all have to come before this board and explain?
Oh, because we got someone over there before the polls opened.
Okay, all right, just a second. You know if, so you don't know if Mr. Weekly or any other poll workers came after you left?
I do not know.
All right. All right, I have no further questions, but I reserve the right to recall Ms. Jackson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lancaster. Mr. Cooper, any redirect?
No redirect.
All right, fine. Commissioners, any questions? All right, ma'am, thank you very much for your testimony. Ma'am, since Mr. Lancaster has asked that potentially you'll be recalled, unfortunately you're going to have to stick around. All right, Mr. Cooper, next witness, please.
You don't recall John Davidson.
Sir, if I could. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record.
John Davidson.
And what is your position with the agency?
I'm the Educational Services Manager.
Were you sent by the agency director to observe the November 2024 general election in Searcy County?
Yes.
What days were you present in Searcy County?
Election day and the day after.
Do you remember observing any problems with the election process on election night?
On election night, no major problems, some small problems as far as the size of the counting location, access maybe to the public being able to watch the scanning in of the ballots. But as far as, major issues, no.
Now, to clarify, when you mean the size of the counting, you mean on election night,
Yes.
tabulators?
Yeah, on election night, the ballots come in from the polling sites, into the courthouse itself. It's a room across from the county clerk's office. It's a pretty small room where the tabulators are, and so the process of scanning those ballots into the tabulators, like I said, it's a pretty small area. The ballot boxes are very large, and so there is some flow issues. But as far as the actual, I don't remember any major issues that night.
Were you also present for the hand count process the following day after election day?
Yes, sir.
Were you present for the entirety of the hand count process?
Yes, sir. Definitely the hand counting process. Of course, I did take a lunch break and a dinner break, but yes, otherwise I was there the entire day.
Do you recall how long that count process took?
It started around 9:30 a.m. I would assume, maybe 9:45, somewhere in that time frame. And then I think the final postings, final tallies were done at pretty close to 4 a.m.
4 a.m. the following morning?
Yes. I guess it would be the morning of the 7th.
Yeah.
I guess that would be.
While you were there, did you recognize any of the equipment vendor representatives that were present providing the video services?
Yes, sir. I had was familiar with Mark that the previous witness spoke about. Me and Mark had, we talked a little bit during the day. He had a lot of equipment and a lot of videography kind of equipment. My background is actually, I actually have a degree in broadcast journalism. And so we talked a lot about equipment and television monitors and that kind of thing. I knew Will was there, and I saw him assisting